Hello viewers, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be returning to the Nordschleife, the full northern loop, to drive the Formula E car around the lap and see how quickly we can go. I thought, you know, I wanted to do another Nordschleife video, couldn't think of a car to drive, so I was like, why not go with the Formula E car? So yeah, we're just going to see how fast we can go, how quickly we get on, and how many times we crash. But I can tell you, we didn't crash. So, you know, obviously an improvement today. But let's get straight into it. Crash in the back, that is... Right, okay, so here we are at the Nordschleife for our hot lap in our Formula E car. Not sure what team it is. I believe it's like a half-fake team, but whatever. We're going to get going now. So we're going to click drive. Now, revving it up. Obviously, there's not much noise because it is electric, but you will hear just a little bit. But we're going to get going right now into first gear. Whoa, and there we go. So, yeah, you can just hear the electric motor whirring away. Now, we're just going to see how quick we are. I don't know how quick this lap is going to be. But we're just going to see. So, through the final corner, lots of oversteer, and down into turn 1 to begin our lap. Nice and easy on the brakes. Don't want to lock up or anything, and out we go. Lots of oversteer in our Formula E car. Now, a few facts which you're going to notice on this lap. So, only one gear with a Formula E car. First gear only. Obviously, I'm not counting reverse and neutral in that. But first gear is the only thing we get to use because there is nothing above that. As you notice on the right and left is these are grooved tyres, not slicks. So, which means there's going to be a lot less grip and they're probably going to be a bit slower. But you saw that oversteer there as we head through the first sector. But away we go now, up to 200 kilometers an hour as we head up towards the Flugplatz for the first time. But we're getting through this track quite nicely at the moment as over the crest. Just taking this nice and easy. I don't want to have a crash because I normally do at the Nürburgring. Or at the Nordschleife, sorry. But through Flugplatz we go. That was quite nice. We're going to clock about 300 kilometers an hour. Yeah, there we go. As we head up to Arenberg, over the crest, on the brakes. This is where Lawrence Van Thor had his accident in the N24 this year. But braking for the hairpin, getting it turned in, not having to shift. This just feels incredibly strange. But out we go. Not too bad. And we are a minute 21 into this lap. So, is that quick? No idea, but we're going to carry on, dropping down the hill towards the compression, and then on the brakes, clipping that curb. That was quite nicely done. On the brakes a bit more, going out to the right, coming back to the left, grabbing an apex there, yep. And then here as well, that was pretty good, and constantly counter steering. We see it because of the nature of the tyres. Going past Rebel Tree, hello Rebel Tree, up towards the double left-hander, on the brakes again. Around we go, not too bad through there, on the brakes again, and a bit deep that time, not ideal, as we drop down the hill towards the right-hander. Obviously, I'm pretty terrible with corner names here at the Nordschleife, but I know I learn them every day through the chicane. This is one of my favourite corners, and this whole car, it may only have one gear, and it may not be the fastest in the corners, but my god, is it an effort to drive. These grooved tyres proving very difficult. As a little oversteer moment over the curb, I think we're okay. I think we've just gotten away with that. Bloody hell, that was incredibly close, butt-clenched moment. But we're through the hairpin as we drop down towards sort of the furthest point on the track away from the start-finish line. Down the hill. Grab that apex. Oh, very nice. A big oversteer moment there. That was absolutely heart-in-mouth stuff. But we're going to put the power down now. Obviously, no push to passes in a hot lap mode. Through we go. Braking again for the right-hander. Getting it turned in. First gear. Well, I mean, we don't get any others. I don't know why I'm saying first gear, but out we go. Now we get to put the power down as we head round the back of the mountain. This is going to get us quite close to 300 kilometers an hour, I reckon. So this is where, at least on the Nordschleife, this is where the Formula E car will be quick. Very quick in a straight line, it is. There isn't a whole lot of downforce on these. But up towards Bravery Corner, on the brakes, it may be Bravery Corner. We're not going to be brave, because I don't know what this car is going to do. I don't know how it's going to react. Up towards the kink. big lift there and a small bit of oversteer. What is going to be really interesting is how this car reacts to the carousel, which we are coming up to right now, as we put the power down on the way up the crest towards the carousel, on the brakes, and we're getting through it just about. Yeah, okay, not too bad. Not the quickest, but we will take that as we now rise up the crest towards the final sector here at the Nordschleife. A small dab of the brakes, go all the way to the right, clip that curb, and then back in. There we go, that was pretty good. Rising over that crest, oh, and a bit deep on the brakes. Not ideal, but we're pressing on in our gold Formula E car as around the right-hander we go, to the left-hander, quick change of direction. The groove tyres seeming to be agreeing with me in what I'm doing with the car, so that's all that we can hope for, because they do not have much grip. It's probably honestly the worst combo. Not much downforce plus groove tyres is just asking for trouble. As through we go. This is up to YouTube corner, I believe now. The right-hander, and understeering our way through, and then oversteering on the exit. Proper F14T style. Through the left-hander. Now we get on the power early as there's more oversteer there. And just constantly correcting as we head around this track. On the jump, is it going to catch air? Oh, there's going to be a little bit of air. Just about. And around we go. To the left-hander now, on that curb. Obviously, curbs at the Nordschleife are very deadly, but we've survived it. As we head down the crest, now we're going to put the power down a bit. As we head up to the final sector. Really getting the power down now. That was much better. But back on the brakes, because I'm not brave. And I just want to get to the end of this lap. We're very close. And through the left-hander, there's some oversteer there. Big catch, big save. As we head up to the mini carousel, but oh my god, I thought that was lap over right then and there, right as I was talking about being cautious. That was very, very close. As we head up to the back straight, I never remember the name, like the Touristhafen or something like that, but out of that corner we go. Now, we are flat on the power all the way down to the final complex, under the Audi Sport banner. As away we go, nearly up to 300 kilometers an hour. That is indicated now, but we're going to just going to stay in the middle of the circuit. 315 kilometers an hour in our Formula E car. There is the tourist centre there, which is where the tourist laps start. But under the flat bridge, whatever, I can't remember what they call that. And then into the final complex. On the brakes about now. Brakes aren't the best in the Formula E, but down into the final complex, that was fairly good. Through the left-hander, past the pit entry banner, marker, final corner, getting close to that Armco, and a bit of oversteer on the exit, one more misbehaving from the rear end, and across the line for one lap of the Nordschleife in our Formula E car. It is a 6-minute 39.398, so honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's quite good. But there we have it. That was an absolute effort to get through there. My god, that was awesome. That was so, so cool. Well, there we have it, everybody. That has been another video here on LazGamez. Hopefully you all enjoyed. This was a ton of fun to make again, because I like doing these different sort of car and track combos, and I like doing stuff at the Nordschleife, because it's a nice challenge. But yeah, there we have it. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching. Stay safe, have an awesome day, make good choices, and I'm going to see you all in a later video or stream or whatever comes next. So take care, everybody. Ciao, ciao, ciao.